we fall short of the target, but that's understandable, as I said, because of the external and domestic factors that are outside of our control. But nonetheless, the performance of the economy was still quite impressive compared to our neighbors and the entire Asia. No? We still are second, third among the major emerging economies in Asia as top performer. No? Now, of course, my colleague here, Sec Kiko, knows and is doing very well how the agriculture was hit hard by the typhoons. We expect agriculture to have contracted by 2% for at least, I think, in 2024 because of the heavy losses in the fourth quarter and as well as in the third quarter of last year. But we expect to have that speedy recovery in 2025. So that's one. And agriculture is 10% of our GDP and almost a third of our employment. So malaking impact yan. Otherwise, the rest of the economy are doing well. Of course, doing well meaning in relation to those constraints that I mentioned, but we could have done well if the environment is more favorable. The Philippine Statistics Authority will release the growth performance for the fourth quarter and the full year 2024. But anticipating that, given the developments in the fourth quarter, especially the several typhoons, that impacted heavily on our agriculture and also many other industries because offices were canceled, suspended many times, and so you can imagine the losses across the industries. So I would expect the fourth quarter to be not as good as we had expected. So yeah, we may have difficulty achieving the 6% for the full year, but we'll see.
For the 2028, for the whole admin of President Marcos, do we expect na ma-revise ulit yung target?
Well, we do revise the targets as circumstances warrant. No? We do understand that, for example, for this year, the level of uncertainty in the global environment and in the global economy is I think, heightened. All these possibilities of retaliations, in the case of the events that tariffs are raised in the U.S. And so that would impact on us because we are part of the supply chain, global supply chain. We exports, we receive remittances. So, but then again, there are as we have been pointing out repeatedly, the good thing about the Philippine economy these days is that almost 3/4 of our growth is coming from within, and it's a very consumption-driven economy, and the service sector is also contribute. Nonetheless, that trade is an important part of the economy, and we are monitoring that closely, and we are using, of course, our budget to ensure that we can make the economy more resilient to shocks.